Have you ever wondered why a car from 1957 became one of the most terrifying movie villains of all time? What if I told you that the real Plymouth Fury was nothing like the blood red killer we saw on screen? Today we're counting down 20 weird facts about the 1957 Plymouth Fury that even die-hard Christine fans don't know. From impossible paint colors to fake engine sounds, these revelations might just change how you see this legendary possessed car. So buckle up and hit that like button if you're ready to discover the shocking truth behind one of horror's most iconic vehicles. Number 20. The real Fury was never red. Here's something that'll blow your mind. The 1957 Plymouth Fury was never available in red. Never. Not once. The car that terrorized Arnie Cunningham and killed his enemies, it couldn't have existed. Every single Fury that rolled off the assembly line in 1957 came in one color only, sand dune beige. That's it, an off-white color with gold anodized trim. Plymouth was going for elegance, not menace. They wanted their flagship model to look sophisticated and luxurious. Red wasn't even an option. So where did Stephen King get the idea for a blood red Fury? Pure imagination. He needed a color that screamed danger and violence. Red fit perfectly. But it was complete fiction. The marketing department at Plymouth would have had a heart attack if they knew their elegant beige cruiser would become horror's most famous killer car. They positioned the Fury as a gentleman's express, a car for successful businessmen who wanted performance with class. The beige paint job was meant to convey understated wealth. Instead, King transformed it into a demonic murder machine. Talk about a brand image problem. When the movie came out, Plymouth dealers across America had to explain to confused customers why they couldn't order a red Fury. Some dealerships even considered custom paint jobs to cash in on the Christine craze, but purists knew the truth. A red 57 Fury was about as authentic as a purple zebra. Number 19. Stephen King got the body style wrong. This one's a doozy. In the novel, Christine is described as a four-door sedan. King wrote detailed passages about Arnie climbing into the back seat, about bodies being stuffed through rear doors, about the car's four-door profile lurking in the shadows. There's just one problem. Plymouth never made a four-door Fury in 1957 or 58. They only came as two-door hardtops, period. No exceptions. King either didn't do his research or didn't care about accuracy. The Fury was Plymouth's halo car, their performance flagship, and in the 50s, performance meant two doors. Four doors were for family sedans, not muscle cars. The movie producers caught this mistake immediately. They had to make a choice. Follow the book and use the wrong car, or use the right car and ignored King's description. They chose accuracy. Every Christine in the film is a two-door. This created some awkward moments. Scenes written for four doors had to be reimagined. Characters squeezed through front seats instead of using rear doors. The whole dynamic changed, but here's the really weird part. King never acknowledged the error. Not in interviews, not in later editions. He just let it slide. Maybe he figured most readers wouldn't know the difference, or maybe he liked his version better. Either way, it remains one of the biggest automotive goofs in horror literature. Number 18, Hollywood using over 20 different cars. Think Christine was one special car with supernatural powers. Think again. The film production used more than 20 different vehicles to create the illusion of a single possessed Plymouth. And here's the kicker, most of them weren't even real Furies. The props department faced a massive problem. Real 1957 Furies were already rare by 1983. Finding 20 identical ones, impossible. So they got creative, really creative. They bought Belvederes, they bought Savoys, they even bought some 58 models. Then they dressed them up to look like Furies. New grills, different trim, creative paint jobs. It was automotive theater. Each car served a specific purpose. Some were pristine for beauty shots, others were pre-damaged for destruction scenes, a few were just empty shells rigged with hydraulics. The stunt cars took the worst beating, crushed, burned, rolled, smashed. The production destroyed genuine classic cars worth thousands, but they needed the realism. CGI wasn't an option in 1983, one car was just for close-ups of the interior, another handled all the driving scenes. A special effects car had no engine, but could transform itself using hidden machinery. They even had backup cars for the backup cars. By the end of filming, most were headed for the scrapyard. Only a handful survived, and those survivors became instant collectibles. Number 17, push-button transmission was real space-age tech. Forget everything you know about gear shifters. The 1957 Fury didn't have one. Instead, it featured something straight out of the Jetsons. Push-button transmission controls right there on the dashboard, like you were operating a spaceship instead of a car. This wasn't movie magic, this was real Chrysler engineering. They called it the Torque Flight transmission, 3 speeds, fully automatic, controlled by mechanical push buttons to the left of the steering wheel. Push D for drive, R for reverse, N for neutral. It was absolutely revolutionary for 1957. Drivers didn't know what to make of it. Some loved the futuristic feel, others missed their familiar shift levers. But Chrysler was making a statement. This was the future of automotive design. No more clunky shifters taking up space, just elegant buttons that clicked with precision. The system was actually incredibly reliable, more reliable than many column shifters of the era, but it freaked people out, especially when things went wrong. Imagine Christine's push buttons operating themselves, shifting into reverse at highway speeds, selecting gears with murderous intent. The movie barely touched on this feature, but it was perfect for a possessed car. Those buttons clicking by themselves in the darkness. The transmission engaging without human touch. Pure nightmare fuel that was also pure 1957 reality. Number 16. The engine made serious power. Under that beige hood lurked a monster. The 1957 Fury packed a 318 cubic inch V8 engine, but this wasn't your grandfather's grocery getter motor. This thing meant business. Dual 4-barrel carburetors fed this beast. That's 8 barrels total for you non-gearheads. In 1957, most cars made do with 1 or 2 barrels. The Fury doubled down and then doubled again. The result? 290 horsepower. That might not sound impressive today, but in 1957, it was absolutely brutal. Most family cars struggled to break 100 horses. The Fury nearly tripled that. It could hit 60 miles per hour in under 8 seconds. Top speed pushed 120 miles per hour. These were supercar numbers for the era. Plymouth even offered a special camshaft for racing enthusiasts. This bumped power even higher. Some estimates put it over 300 horses. In a car weighing 3,500 pounds, that meant serious acceleration. The engine's signature sound came from those dual quads sucking air, a deep, throaty roar that announced serious intentions. It was the perfect soundtrack for a killer car. Even sitting still, a Fury sounded dangerous. That rumbling idle promised violence. King chose his monster well. This wasn't some economy car gone bad. This was already a predator. The possession just unleashed what was already there. Number 15. Movie magic made Christine regenerate. Remember those incredible scenes where Christine heals herself? Crumpled metal smoothing out, broken glass reforming, decades of rust vanishing in seconds, pure movie magic. But how'd they do it? The answer is surprisingly low-tech. No computers, no digital effects, just good old-fashioned hydraulics and clever camera work. The special effects team built special car bodies from rubber and plastic. Inside, they installed hydraulic rams, dozens of them, each one precisely positioned. When activated, these rams could push out dents, straighten panels, reform shapes. It was like an automotive skeleton flexing its muscles. Then came the genius part. They filmed the cars being crushed and damaged. Hydraulic rams pulled in panels, rubber bodies crumpled on cue. Glass was carefully broken in specific patterns. Everything was meticulously controlled. Next, they played the footage backwards. Suddenly, destruction became regeneration. Dents popped out, cracks sealed themselves. Christine was reborn before your eyes. The effect was absolutely convincing. Even today, it holds up remarkably well. Some scenes required multiple takes to get perfect, others used stop-motion techniques, frame-by-frame manipulation, hours of work for seconds of screen time, but the result was worth it. Christine's self-healing ability became one of horror cinema's most memorable effects, all without a single computer. Number 14. Christine's roar came from a different car. Here's something that'll mess with your head. That iconic engine sound that made Christine so menacing, it wasn't from a Plymouth Fury, not even close. The sound department had a problem. The real Fury's 318 engine sounded too refined, too civilized. They needed something more aggressive, more threatening. Something that would make audiences feel Christine's power. So they went shopping for the perfect automotive voice. They tried big block Chryslers. They sampled Menace. Nothing sounded quite right. Then they found it. A 1970 Mustang with a 428 Super Cobra jet engine. This thing was an absolute monster. 7 liters of Detroit thunder. When they fired it up, everyone knew this was Christine's voice. Deep, guttural, angry. They recorded hours of engine sounds, idle, acceleration, full throttle runs, every possible variation. Then they carefully synced these sounds to the Plymouth's movements. It was audio surgery, matching revs to wheel speed, timing gear changes perfectly. The result fooled everyone. Even car enthusiasts assumed they were hearing a hopped-up Fury engine. But nope, pure Ford power providing the soundtrack. It's wonderfully ironic. Plymouth's most famous car speaks with a Ford accent. Somewhere Henry Ford was probably laughing. Number 13. Original Furies were incredibly rare. Want to know why the movie used fake Furies? Simple mathematics. Plymouth only built 5,303 Fury models in 1958. That's it. Total production for the entire world. And that was actually a good year. The 1957 numbers were even lower. By 1983, when filming began, finding one was like finding a needle in a haystack. Finding 20? Forget about it. These weren't cars that people preserved. They were expensive when new, impractical for families, too nice for teenagers. Most got driven hard and put away wet. By the 70s, survivors were already scarce. Rust claimed many. Accidents took others. Some got parted out when repairs became too expensive. The Fury was never meant to be a volume seller. Plymouth positioned it as their halo car. Low production, high prestige, exclusive ownership. It worked too well. When Hollywood came calling, there simply weren't enough cars to go around. This scarcity made the movie's destruction scenes even more painful for collectors. Every crushed Fury was irreplaceable. Every burned car was automotive history going up in smoke. But it also added to Christine's mystique. She wasn't just any car. She was one of the rare ones, special from the factory. Maybe that's why she turned evil. She knew how special she was. Number 12. Screen cars became instant collectibles. What happens to movie cars after filming? Usually they get scrapped, sold for parts, forgotten, not Christine. The surviving cars became Hollywood gold. Collectors went crazy for them. Suddenly everyone wanted to own the killer car. Even damaged examples found buyers. One pristine hero car went on the exhibition circuit, horror conventions, car shows, shopping mall displays. Fans paid just to sit behind the wheel, to touch the dashboard, to feel the evil, or at least pretend to. This car eventually got raffled off for charity. The winner probably slept with one eye open. Another survivor underwent full restoration. Every nut and bolt made perfect. Then it hit the auction block. Bidding was fierce. Horror fans battled car collectors. The final price? Let's just say it bought a lot more than a regular Fury would. Several stunt cars also survived, bent, battered, beautiful in their destruction. These found homes in private collections, conversation pieces with Hollywood history. Some owners tried capitalizing on the connection. They'd rent their Christines for events, charge for photo opportunities, create mobile museums. The car that killed on screen was killing it in real life. But here's the creepy part. Several owners reported strange incidents, electrical problems, engines starting by themselves, probably coincidence. Then again, maybe not. Once you own Christine, you never really know what you're getting. Number 11. The assembly line scene was pure fiction. That haunting opening scene in the movie, Christine rolling down a Detroit assembly line, workers dying mysterious deaths, a car born bad from the very beginning, complete Hollywood invention. Not a word of it appears in King's novel. The book starts 20 years later. Christine is already old, already used, already waiting in Roland Lebey's garage. Her origins remain mysterious, unknown. That's part of her power. But director John Carpenter wanted something different. He needed to show Christine was always evil, not corrupted, not possessed, born bad. So they created that unforgettable assembly line sequence. 1957 Detroit, the height of American automotive power. Workers building dreams in steel. Then Christine rolls into frame. Immediately things go wrong. A hood slams on fingers. A worker chokes to death. Another dies mysteriously. The message is clear. This car was cursed from birth. It's brilliant filmmaking, but pure fiction. King never explained Christine's origins, never showed her creation. He left that to our imagination. Sometimes the movie improves on the book. This was one of those times. That opening scene sets the perfect tone. It tells us everything we need to know. Christine isn't a normal car that went bad. She was never normal. Evil from her first breath. Number 10. One movie car was built on Halloween. You can't make this stuff up. When researchers traced the VIN numbers of the surviving movie cars, they discovered something spine-tingling. One of the main Christines was manufactured on October 31st, 1957. Halloween, the day when the veil between worlds grows thin, when evil walks the earth, when cars apparently gain murderous souls. Was it coincidence or cosmic fate? The production team didn't know about this when they bought the car. The discovery came later, during restoration. When someone decided to decode the build sheet, there it was in black and white, October 31st, All Hallows' Eve. The odds were astronomical. Out of 20 plus cars, they randomly selected one built on the spookiest day of the year. It was like Christine chose them, not the other way around. This particular car became the star of promotional tours. Marketing loved the Halloween connection. It was too perfect. A possessed car actually built on Halloween. You couldn't write better publicity. The car still exists today. Still carries that October 31st build date, still makes people wonder, was it really just coincidence, or was something supernatural at work? Some things are better left unknown. But if you ever see a 57 Fury at a car show, check the build date, just in case. Number 9. The Fury name meant serious business. Plymouth didn't choose the name Fury by accident. This was 1957. The height of the Cold War. Americans wanted power, speed, aggression. Fury delivered all three. The name came from marketing genius. They could have called it the Plymouth Aristocrat, the Plymouth Executive, the Plymouth Luxury Cruiser. All were considered, all were rejected. Too soft, too boring, too safe. Fury had edge. It suggested barely controlled rage. Mechanical violence waiting to explode, perfect for a performance car, perfect for the times. The advertising reflected this attitude. Suddenly, it's 1960, one campaign proclaimed. Like the Fury was so advanced, it came from the future. Another tagline, the car that dares to be different. Dares, not tries, dares. Even the press releases used aggressive language. They talked about unleashing the Fury, about its savage acceleration, about taming its power. This wasn't transportation, this was controlled chaos. King picked up on this perfectly. A car named Fury becoming furious? The symbolism wrote itself. The name carried built-in menace, built-in threat. You don't name something Fury unless it has a temper. Plymouth's marketing department had no idea they were naming a future movie monster, but they gave King the perfect foundation, a car already named for rage. All it needed was a push to go over the edge. Number 8, the gold trim was real sin, 24 the carat. Here's something wild about the real Fury. That gold-colored trim wasn't just paint. It was actual anodized aluminum with real gold in the process. Plymouth wasn't messing around. They wanted their flagship to scream luxury. This anodizing process was space-age stuff for 1957. They took aluminum trim pieces and subjected them to an electrolytic process. Real gold compounds were involved. The result was trim that wouldn't fade, wouldn't tarnish, wouldn't lose its luster. It was expensive, time-consuming, completely over the top, exactly what Fury buyers wanted. They were paying premium prices. They expected premium materials. Gold anodized trim delivered the goods. In sunlight, the trim actually sparkled, like jewelry for your car. It caught eyes from across parking lots, made the beige paint pop, turned heads at country clubs. The movie cars mostly skipped this detail. Red paint made gold trim less important, plus, genuine anodized pieces were impossible to find. Most got painted approximations. But the real deal was something special. Even today, original gold trim commands huge prices. Restorers pay thousands for authentic pieces. That's how special this treatment was. It separated Furies from lesser Plymouths, made them automotive aristocracy. No wonder Christine thought she was better than other cars. With real gold trim, she literally was. Number 7, dual headlights. Were brand new technology. Those 4 headlights staring at you like demonic eyes, they were cutting-edge technology. In 1957, seriously, dual headlights had just become legal in all 48 states. Before 1957, cars were limited to 2 headlights. It was the law. States worried 4 lights would blind oncoming drivers, create chaos, cause accidents. Then regulations changed. Suddenly, manufacturers could double up. Plymouth jumped on it immediately. The Fury got quad headlights as standard equipment. 2 regular beams, 2 high beams, twice the illumination, twice the intimidation. It changed the car's entire face. Those 4 lights created an aggressive stance, a predatory look, perfect for a performance car, perfect for a future movie monster. The arrangement was distinctive too. 2 lights stacked vertically on each side, not horizontal like other brands. It gave the Fury a unique glare, instantly recognizable. When those 4 lights appeared in your rearview mirror at night, you knew exactly what was behind you. A Fury, coming fast. In the movie, those quad lights became Christine's eyes. Watching, hunting, never blinking. The effect was genuinely creepy, especially when she repaired herself. Those dead headlights suddenly blazing back to life. 4 points of light in the darkness. Plymouth's engineers never imagined their new headlight design would become horror movie gold, but those 4 eyes made Christine unforgettable. Number 6. The interior was pure luxury. Forget what you think you know about 50s car interiors. The Fury wasn't some stripped-down hot rod. This thing was plush, decadent, borderline ridiculous in its luxury. Start with the seats, available in leather or premium cloth, deeply padded, individually adjustable, like first-class airline seats before airlines existed. The dashboard, a work of art, sweeping curves, chrome accents everywhere. That push-button transmission we mentioned, just part of the space-age design. full instrumentation too, not just a speedometer and gas gauge, oil pressure, temperature, amperage, everything a driver needed to monitor their mechanical beast. The steering wheel was enormous, thin, delicate looking. Power steering was optional but recommended. Without it, parking was a workout. But Plymouth didn't stop there. Available options included power windows, power seats, even air conditioning. In 1957, this wasn't standard equipment, this was fantasy stuff. The radio was another marvel. Push-button AM with incredible sound quality, some had signal-seeking tuning. The antenna automatically extended when you turned it on, pure James Bond technology. All this luxury made Christine's evil nature more disturbing. She wasn't some junker gone bad, she was automotive royalty with a taste for blood. The contrast between elegance and evil made her unforgettable. You expected violence from a beat-up muscle car, not from something this refined. Number 5. The suspension was racing-inspired. Plymouth didn't just stuff a big engine in the Fury and call it done, they completely reworked the suspension. Torsion bars up front, leaf springs in back, heavy-duty everything. This was racing technology adapted for the street. The torsion bar setup was revolutionary. Instead of traditional coil springs, the Fury used long steel bars that twisted to absorb bumps. It sounds simple, it was genius. The bars could be adjusted for ride height. Want your Fury to sit lower? Crank the adjusters. Need more ground clearance? Crank them the other way. Hot rodders loved this feature. It was like having adjustable suspension decades before it became common. The rear used asymmetrical leaf springs. One side was stiffer than the other. Why? To counteract torque twist under hard acceleration, when you stomped the gas, the car stayed planted. No wheel hop, no axle wrap, just forward thrust. Sway bars front and rear kept body roll in check. The Fury could actually corner, not just go fast in straight lines. This was unusual for American cars of the era, most wallowed like boats. The Fury stayed relatively flat. All this handling prowess made Christine more terrifying. She wasn't just fast, she was agile. She could chase you through corners, hunt you down twisty roads. There was no escape from a car that handled this well. Number 4. Production numbers made each car special. Let's talk exact numbers, because the rarity of the Fury adds to Christine's mystique. In 1957, Plymouth built just 7,438 Furies. Total, for all of North America. That's fewer cars than most manufacturers build in a week today. Break it down by color, and it gets crazier. Every single one was buckskin beige, so if you wanted a different color, tough luck. You bought beige, or you bought something else. Of those 7,438, most had automatic transmissions, maybe 500 came with 3-speed manuals, making stick-shift Furies incredibly rare. Now consider attrition, accidents, rust, neglect, exports. By 1983, maybe 1,000 survived, maybe. Finding 20 for a movie production was basically impossible. This rarity made Christine special even before she turned evil. She wasn't some mass-produced commodity, she was exclusive, limited, valuable. Owners babied these cars, joined clubs, attended shows, created networks to find parts. The Fury was already automotive royalty. King just gave one a crown of terror. It's perfect storytelling. Take something already special and make it supernatural. The car's rarity added believability. Of course, a limited production car might develop a personality. It was special from birth. Number 3. The movie created a paint code that never existed. Remember how we said Furies only came in beige? The movie created a fictional paint code for Christine's red color. They called it Autumn Red, gave it an official-sounding code number, even created fake documentation. This caused massive confusion. After the movie, people searched for original Autumn Red Furies, checked production records, contacted Plymouth historians, called paint suppliers. Nobody could find evidence this color ever existed, because it didn't. The movie producers mixed their own custom red, several shades actually. Different cars got slightly different mixes. They needed consistency on camera, not in real life. Some were darker, more blood-like, others had orange undertones. The hero cars got the most attention, multiple coats, wet sanding between each, clear coat for depth. These paint jobs cost more than some entire cars, but it created that perfect sinister red, deep, rich, alive. Restorers still argue about the correct Christine red. Some claim they've matched it perfectly, others say it's impossible. The movie used different reds for different scenes. There's no single correct shade. Paint companies now offer Christine red colors. None are official, all are interpretations, but they sell like crazy. Everyone wants their car to look like the killer Plymouth. Even though that color never existed in 1957, it's the perfect example of movie fiction becoming accepted reality. Number 2, the Fury was Plymouth's first true performance car. Here's something crucial. The 1957 Fury wasn't just another Plymouth with a big engine. It was the company's first genuine attempt at a performance car, their first factory hot rod. Before the Fury, Plymouth built sensible cars, reliable transportation, family sedans, nothing exciting. They were losing younger buyers to Ford and Chevy. Something had to change. The Fury was Plymouth's answer, not just more power, a complete performance package, special engine, upgraded transmission, enhanced suspension, unique styling, limited production, premium pricing. It worked too. Suddenly Plymouth was cool. Young buyers took notice, racing teams showed interest, the automotive press went crazy. Plymouth had finally built something worth talking about. This was the beginning of Plymouth's muscle car legacy. The Fury started it all. Without it, no Roadrunner, no GTX, no Barracuda, no Hemi Cuda. The Fury proved Plymouth could build excitement. Sales justified expanded performance programs, more powerful engines, wilder styling, crazier names. By choosing the Fury, King picked the car that started Plymouth's performance revolution. The first of its kind, the original, the one that changed everything. No wonder it had such a powerful personality. It was born to break rules. Christine just took that attitude to murderous extremes. Number 1. A real Fury inspired Stephen King. Here's the ultimate Christine fact. King's inspiration came from a real experience with a real car. Not a Fury, but close enough. In the late 70s, King bought a used car that seemed cursed. Things went wrong constantly. Electrical problems, mechanical failures, weird incidents. The odometer ran backwards. The radio changed stations by itself. King joked the car was possessed. Then he started thinking. What if it really was? What if a car could be genuinely evil? The idea wouldn't leave him alone. He started researching automotive horror stories, found tales of cursed cars, deadly vehicles, machines that seemed to hate their owners. The Plymouth Fury entered the picture later. King needed a specific car for his story, something special but attainable, powerful but not exotic. The Fury fit perfectly, performance credentials gave it menace, that distinctive styling made it memorable. The name sealed the deal, Fury. It practically wrote itself. King took his real experience with a problem car and transformed it into horror gold, mixed truth with fiction, reality with nightmare. Created a monster that felt possible, because in a way it was. Every car owner has wondered if their vehicle hates them. King just took that feeling to its logical extreme. The result was Christine, born from real frustration, powered by imagination, immortalized in steel and blood. And there you have it, that's 20 weird facts about the 1957 Plymouth Fury that even Christine superfans probably didn't know. From impossible paint colors to Halloween manufacturing dates, the truth behind this automotive icon is even stranger than fiction. Did any of these facts surprise you? And more importantly, would you still want to own a Fury after learning all this? Let us know in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into horror's most famous car, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories about the dark side of pop culture. Until next time, maybe check your rearview mirror twice just to be safe.